Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Wednesday, yesterday, Sheriff Billy Wood and some of his members of his agency attended a prayer vigil for Larry Dwayne Duggar. He was shot. If you remember the story, he was killed a year ago at the annual. He was shot and killed a year ago at the annual Rainbow Gathering in the Ocala National Forest. Happened on the night of February 12th. Happened at 196 Terrace Road in Silver Springs. Duggar's from Johnson City, Tennessee. The goal of Tuesday's vigil was which was organized by Duggar's friends and was held outside the sheriff's office. They did it to bring awareness to the cold case. With hope that people with relevant information would come forward. That's how they're going to break this case. Organizers prayed for deputies and for information pertaining to Duggar's death. Billy Wood told dozens of people gathered by the flagpole outside his office to remember Duggar. He emphasized that detectives have been working diligently without giving away too much information because it's an ongoing investigation. The sheriff said detectives received some good information and have interviewed several people. And although detectives have encountered some roadblocks, they're moving forward and they're hoping for a break in the case. It's a tragedy, said Woods. He said he hoped Tuesday's prayer vigil would spark additional leads in the case. He said it's important we have an airtight case. All our I's are dotted, our T's are crossed. That way there's no way anybody can slip out. There's no gaps, loopholes, or legal obstacles that would prevent anybody from, getting a conviction. Woods and other deputies standing shoulder to shoulder with people from the Rainbow Gathering meant a lot to the people from the Rainbow Gathering. One guy, Joshua Hansen, said, "I thought it was beautiful. It was a huge step." Hansen told Woods that Duggar's mother had not had too much contact with detectives about his son's death. The sheriff said sometimes we don't call the family just to tell them that they're still working. When we don't have anything new to report, we don't call them. But they're diligently working on this case. If you have any information about the shooting where Mr. Duggar was killed out of 196 Terrace last year during the Rainbow Gathering, contact the sheriff's office or Crime Stoppers if you want to remain anonymous. So, Susan, are you even aware of what the Rainbow Gathering is?
No, I am not.
Every year, a large contingent of Earth people or hippies take a vigil out to the Ocala National Forest, and they have a huge gathering of people that they just sit out there, and it's like a big commune where they eat and have, interactions with each other. They sit in drum circles and.
Do they camp?
Yeah, they camp and everything. Yeah, it's a week-long thing. 2 weeks, maybe even. I saw one of the Rainbow Gathering buses driving through town yesterday. It was a school bus that was painted in tie-dye looks. And it had on top of it, the roof had holes cut in it, the top of the roof, where they had then taken half of a Volkswagen van and put over those two holes to create even more room in that bus.
Oh, nice.
So
crazy.
People come from all over the country to come to the Rainbow Gathering out in the forest.
Okay.
All over the country. I've never attended.
This surprises me, by the way.
But I would have attended in the mid-'90s, the early '90s.
I'm sure you would have.
I was kind of a hippie.
I think you would attend right now if you didn't have to camp.
Yeah, I hate camping.
We live close, though. You can just come home.
My idea of camping
is a Holiday Inn Express.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's my exact point. That's my idea of camping. So, but yeah, I'm sure it's a beautiful event. Now, I know some people look down their nose at the rainbow people because they say they're dirty people and they don't bathe regularly. They're earth, so they don't mind being dirty because they love the earth and they believe that having the earth on them is a good thing. I know this because I lived in a commune of 34 people in Boone, North Carolina. I bathed on a regular basis, to the chagrin of a lot of people that lived on our commune. they literally, this one guy, Jeff, would get angry at me when I would shower. Then I'd remind him that I own the property. You could be asked to leave at any moment. So, but the rainbow gathering out in the forest is, just like-minded people get together and sit around in drum circles. Probably a little marijuana is smoked out there, I would think.
Oh, I'm sure they have cards. I'm sure they have medical cards.
We'll go with that.
Okay.
We'll go with that. But, his life was just as important as anybody else's life.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact they need to solve this crime just as they would anybody that got murdered.
Right.
So
for sure.
I hope that people come forward and help find the culprits that killed Mr. Duggar while he was at the Rainbow Gathering last year. He's from Johnson City, Tennessee, too. Johnson City, Tennessee, about 45 minutes from Boone, North Carolina. That's where Steve Spurrier is from, actually, Johnson City, Tennessee. Coach Steve Spurrier, the Florida Gators from Johnson City, Tennessee. I came in contact with a lot of Rainbow people when I lived in Boone, but I was a Rainbow person then.
Yeah. Yes, dear.
I really was.
Yes.
Dreadlocks and all.
I would love to see. I wish there was you gotta reach out to your ex-wife, Kathleen.
I'm sure she has the pictures.
I want a picture. I want to see what it looks like.
It was a mess.
I want to see it.
It was a mess. Then I tried to comb it out on a Christmas day.
No, you tried to have women comb it out.
Yeah, that didn't work. So they shaved it. Yeah, that didn't work. So. But there was a lot of good times sitting around in a drum circle, playing drums.
And
just saying.
Passing the jar.
Yes.
We'll go with that.
We did pass. Yes. There was some moonshine drink. I'll give you that. There was definitely some moonshine drink. Definitely some moonshine drink. Good morning. You're on Ocala Talks.
Hey, Tom, I wanted to call and comment on the murder that you're speaking of, but I wanted to report first if you didn't mention the traffic. Had you talked about 200?
Yeah, we didn't. We haven't had an update yet on the traffic accident on 200.
Well, I just happened to, when you said that, I was traveling eastbound away from SECO, the electric utility location. I'm currently at 200 near Sam's, across from Steak and Shake, and the intersection looks completely clear. And the matter of fact, the traffic that usually is in front of Sam's isn't even backed up.
No. This accident happened up at Target, up by Mojo's.
Up by what, Tom?
Up by Mojo's at 17th and 200 is where this accident happened.
Yeah, that'd be further up the road there, northbound. Yeah.
Right.
I apologize. I just was speaking for 200, but we're good up near 75. I wanted to make a comment about the murder. I wasn't particularly familiar with it, so while you were explaining your background as a hippie, and I knew you had a good heart in there somewhere, Tom. I could just tell you're a good person. But
hey, that's my husband you're talking about. He's got a great heart.
Well, and any lady that's spent time in Nebraska is entitled to a good-hearted man. So, and I don't move my seat back either from flying so much. So I listen to my fellow sisters.
Got about 30 seconds, Mark.
I just wanted to say that reading the article, it looked like the green, the peace people were out there, and about 5 vehicles in a convoy came through the area, and they were asked to slow down, and one of the trucks backs up. And I don't think, it doesn't even say in the article there was an argument, just that he was shot from 2 feet away. So
right. Yeah.
That doesn't help your survivability. So
it does not.
In other words, the people were provoking them probably.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. Thanks for the call, Mark.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay, guys. Have a good one.
We'll be back after this timeout. You're listening to Ocala Talks on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
From the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
As Ukrainians celebrate a day of unity, Kyiv appears to blame Russia for a cyber attack on their infrastructure Tuesday. The defense minister in Russia published a video to demonstrate it was returning some troops to base after live fire exercises. It should be noted no numbers or base names were offered in the video release. San Francisco, California residents recalled 3 Democrat members of the city's school board Tuesday for what critics called misplaced priorities in putting progressive politics over the needs of children during the pandemic. Ann Shu on KRON San Francisco.
They are putting politics over education. They're harming our children, and we can't wait to kick them out.
Voters overwhelmingly approved the recall in a special election, according to votes by the San Francisco Department of Elections. Vice President Kamala Harris will swear in Cynthia Tellis as ambassador to Costa Rica later on today. USA Radio News.
If you're concerned about the power grid and want to generate your own supply of off-grid electricity, this will be the most important message you'll hear this year. Here's why. We now have a small number of solar generators back in stock. These emergency backup systems provide life-saving backup power when you need it most. And unlike gas generators, solar generators run quietly, emit no dangerous fumes, and produce an endless supply of free electricity from the sun. Whether it's wildfires, dangerous weather, power grid issues, or just getting off the grid, you'll never have to suffer through painful power outages again. Even better, all this week, radio listeners get over $700 in free off-the-grid bonuses too. Go to mysolarbackup.com to learn more and check availability. That's mysolarbackup.com. Look for the free report, Crisis Cooling, how to make absolutely sure your meat, milk, and medicines stay safe and cool in any power outage. Yours free at mysolarbackup.com.
Using the code BUBBA at HelloFresh.com.
Wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center Outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Shamrock Security Systems, 629-3223. Shamrock Security Systems is located here in Ocala, Florida. Shamrock Security Systems is a top-rated alarm company offering 24/7 monitoring, video surveillance, fire and flood protection. You'll sleep a little better once the job is done. Shamrock Security Systems for over 31 years. 629-3223. Get a 100% free quote from Shamrock Security. 629-3223.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Buffett. Save the Manatee Club has helped to protect imperiled manatees and their aquatic habitat for decades, but there's still more work to be done. Threats from cold weather